continue to negotiate COVID-related protocols and procedures for this upcoming season. The search for a new head coach underway for USC following the firing of Coach Clay Helton. Things have not gone well with the Trojans the last few hires, so athletic director Mike Bohn has to get this one right, insists Paul Feinbaum of the Paul Feinbaum Show.
If he screws up this hire and he's got 3 months to make it, you might as well bury this program because you can't keep doing this every couple of years. If you go and you get another guy and 3 years from now we're having the same conversation, then you're dead. I mean, nobody wants to go to your program.
Paul Feinbaum on Keyshawn, J. Will, and Max. The Saints have had 8 members of the organization test positive for COVID-19, including 6 offensive coaches and a player. That leaves their status for Sunday's game against the Panthers in question.
Want to look like $1 million? Upgrade to a Dollar Shave Club 6-blade razor for a noticeably smooth shave thanks to their 6 precision-cut stainless steel blades. Find your perfect shave with Dollar Shave Club stores. Yup, that's Dollar Shave Club in store. So go to the store and find them.
Broadcasting live from the ESPN 690 Anajar and Levine studios.
This is Action Sports Jax on ESPN 690 with Brent Martineau and Austen Lane.
Football. You know, I'm gonna do my job. You know what I'm saying? If we all see, stuff happens. You know what I mean? And situation like that, I'm not gonna say we lost the game. You know what I'm saying? I done seen some crazy stuff happen. So I'm gonna do what I gotta do. I'm gonna go out there and do my job as a grown man, as a captain, as a player on this team. I'm gonna do my job, and I hope the guy next to me and the guys behind me do their job. So we just had to come out there and we just gotta get better next week.
That's Josh Allen, and Josh Allen did that. He did his job. Jaguars, as a whole, didn't do their job. They lose to Houston on Sunday, 37-21, and here we go again in Jacksonville. It kind of feels like, with all the noise already after one game, it's just one game in the Urban Meyer era, and that has been a little bit of a talker over the last couple of days. Even leading into the game, the talk about Urban Meyer, we hit that at the top of the show earlier today. You can always subscribe, Action Sports Jax on ESPN 690 podcast if you missed any of it. Brent Martineau, Austen Lane, and we have a new hour of the show because we have a new part of the team here for this hour of the show, and that is former Jags kicker Josh Scobee. Needs no introduction. What's happening, man?
Oh, I'm just glad to be here. I love this place. Obviously, Topgolf. Golf is my thing, but to be with you two guys, I mean, I'm excited.
No truth that in negotiations he said we had to do it from Topgolf.
Yeah, okay.
Or a golf course.
Okay.
All right, that had nothing to do with it.
So
sure.
This is your doing.
Yeah, that's basically what I do.
And
yeah.
Josh, and how much in your contract did it say we have to talk about golf per hour?
20, 30 minutes of the hour show.
Okay.
Yeah.
I don't know if you know this, but whenever we talk about golf, Austen has to talk about MMA or wrestling, usually wrestling.
All right, we'll do 5 minutes of golf, 5 minutes of MMA.
Okay.
Negotiation over.
I think we can agree with that. We're good with that.
Negotiations over. It is funny how synonymous you have become with golf, maybe more than football.
Yeah.
You like that, or does it kind of drive you nuts? It's like every time, hey, how's your golf game, Josh? Go to the grocery store.
It's the first
hey,
thing I
how's your
asked
golf game? What'd you shoot today, Josh?
Doesn't bother me one bit. I love it. That means that I've gotten pretty good at golf.
Hey, there you go. And you are pretty good at golf. Come on out. Challenge him. See what you got from Topgolf, of course. Every Tuesday we're going to be here from 5 to 6. But it's not going to be just football. But let's begin with football. And listen, there's few bigger fans of the football team and franchise than you and your family. And you obviously played for them forever. So you felt what everybody else felt on Sunday. We weren't expecting that, man.
No, absolutely not, especially going into the game and looking at the schedule with all the things that the Houston Texans were dealing with, especially with Deshaun Watson and everyone calling them, the quote-unquote worst team in the league, and to go and get blown out by them and to look as bad as we did in terms of many things, just the little things that coaches hate to see, penalties, turnovers, mental mistakes. It wasn't a good start for the season, that's for sure.
Josh, you've been in a lot of locker rooms, so you know how this works. You can't overreact after one game. But the way that game transpired, and you said it yourself, I mean, guys weren't lined up properly, a lot of penalties, a lot of sloppy play. I mean, I said it myself, I'm hitting the panic button after one game, which I shouldn't be doing, but I feel like I have to. Are you doing it as well, or are you just saying, it's the first game of the season, let's see what happens?
I'm not going to hit the panic button yet because the preseason now is different than when you and I were playing. Typically, you get 2 games to work on it like it's a practice game, and then 2 games to work on it like it's an actual game, and then move into the regular season. Things are different now. We have a completely new coaching staff, especially with Urban Meyer. Never coached in the NFL. Things are a little bit different. However, the mental mistakes were the big thing that I saw that makes me take a little bit of a pause. But I think those are going to get cleaned up. The position coaches are going to work with their guys this week and make sure that they're lined up correctly. They're going to have 11 guys on the field in the huddle, not 12 guys, and they're going to be able to clean up things and make it a little bit easier for their guys to succeed on the field.
As a guy who covers this for a while and has covered a lot of bad around here, quite frankly,
yeah.
We've asked a lot of these questions, and a lot of times you ask questions and you're like, well, the player will be like, hey, that's a fixable thing. It's a fixable thing. What people don't like to see from a player or coach perspective is an unfixable thing. Mm-hmm. Well, I even believe that lining up for a play has got to be a fixable thing, right? But I want to, from your perspective, you handle it a different way in special teams, but there's a lot of different players coming in and out of special teams that have to be on the same page throughout the year. So it's sometimes the most challenging time to get people lined up the right way. You obviously do it from a defensive standpoint where sometimes you can look a little chaotic and get away with it anyway on defense. But you often will say this, hey, that's on coaching, it's on coaching, it's on coaching. But from a one-off standpoint, how much do you think this particular one is on coaching that wasn't communicated and stressed enough all off season and all preseason, on how much of it was just mental mistakes, opening game, I'm trying to do too much, let me help the rookie quarterback out? I mean, where do you fall on how much of this was, all right, this player is going to be better at this next week, or this is a problem because the coaching staff isn't stressing it?
So obviously it doesn't fall on just solely one person. And when we talk about the coaching and the player combination of both to blame here, what really baffles me and what's concerning to me is that the guys that were making the mistakes are veterans that should know better at this point. For instance, DJ Chark, in the very first play of the game, not getting lined up properly. Like, that to me is concerning. Now, was he doing that in practice and coaches maybe didn't notice it and weren't calling him out on it? Possibly. But I just think it's very peculiar that you have veterans making these mistakes because they don't go out there and try to intentionally, get penalties. So someone's got to be held accountable. Yes, the player's got to be held accountable, but as well, the coach has to reiterate, you cannot be doing this.
Yeah, I agree with what you're saying, Austen. I mean, there's just so many things that the coaches can coach, but the players have to go out there and do it. They have to be paying attention, and it's the little things going into game one that they really have to be paying attention to. And it just seemed like it was just the small things, the little details that the players can control that they screwed up and put us in bad situations when it's 1st and 10 to 1st and 15, 1st and 10 to 2nd and 15, like just random things like that put the team in bad positions and didn't allow the offense to get off to a good start in any drive.
Another big story out today in the last couple of days, I think everybody's waiting for the Jags to lose. Everybody wants to see, not everybody, but the outside world wants to see the Urban Meyer thing fail. They want to see Urban Meyer fail, quite frankly. What that is and what that's all about, I mean, who knows? There's a lot of different theories involved, different ways. But people want to see Urban Meyer fail. They really do. Like outside of here, and I can't imagine inside of Jacksonville because everybody wants to see the Jags succeed. From a player standpoint, you start seeing this stuff, and it's hard to ignore it, right? Do you think he's still got the play? I mean, this got players coach. Like he said, I want to do everything for the players. Players. Does any of this stuff matter? The noise already a couple of days in? I mean,
in my opinion, I doubt it matters to the players right now. They're angry that they're 0-1, and they don't care what happened in training camp. Obviously, they read things on Twitter, Facebook, any random thing that's been put out there, and it's completely different than whenever I was playing because everything gets sensationalized and blows up in a hurry. I highly doubt these players are going, all right, listen, this guy's going to be out of here next week. We need to be worried about us. No, they're focused on the next week, the next game, the first home game of the season. They're excited about that. They're going to be ready to play.
And you did this a lot, by the way. Well, you guys both did. Jack Del Rio, I mean, he was on the hot seat, right? And you wonder, okay, is this the week they're going to fire him? It wasn't necessarily a social media world. It wasn't Urban Meyer, who was Jack wasn't as polarizing even as Urban Meyer, right? Yeah. But you hear it. You got to hear it.
Well, and it's crazy what Josh was saying, too, because even in a matter of a decade when I played, it's completely different now than it was back then.
Yeah,
with social media.
You guys are so damn old. What the
hell? I know, man. I mean, we're ancient, man. We're ancient. What can I say? exactly. But
everyone's old at some point. We're getting there.
But when we speak on that narrative, I think it's almost like the Tim Tebow effect, where the Tim Tebow didn't affect the locker room because, well, that was never brought to their attention, right? Like, reporters weren't asking every single player every single day, what about Tim Tebow? What about Tim Tebow? Tim Tebow never got in front of the media and spoke. I mean, they kept him behind closed doors, and it was fine. I think that the team effect was positive. Same thing with Urban Meyer. It's not going to affect the team unless it affects these players' daily habits. We're all creatures of habit. If they start getting cameras in their face saying, what did you do about Urban Meyer here? USC, is he going to USC? Well, then it can maybe affect the chemistry of that locker room because now they have to hear about it on an everyday basis.
Yeah, that makes sense. We're live at Topgolf right here in Jacksonville. Come on out. It's like half price for the Bays on Tuesdays here at Topgolf. So
that's a good thing.
Got a good crowd, and it will get even better as the school sessions keep getting into play and everybody gets more comfortable and in a rhythm. Brent Martineau, Austen Lane, Josh Scobee. We're going to do this every Tuesday from 5 to 6, so certainly come out and say hello. Let's have some fun for a moment. Get away from the Jags and football, and that's not fun.
Thank you. Yes.
How about the
Florida
rest
State?
Okay.
Oh,
yeah,
no,
State.
Good,
you can listen to it right here on ESPN 690. I'm sorry. I guess it's good we don't have the Jags.
Yeah, for sure.
Maybe. You can listen to the NFL, part of our Westwood One coverage, by the way. Thursday night football coming up. And hope you got to hear the game last night on ESPN 690. All right, I want to do this thing. I'm gonna say some team. Either one of you can jump in, but it's got to be a one-word thing. What comes to your mind when I say a team? You ready?
One word. Jeez. I got you. Okay.
Yeah, I know it's going to be tricky. I'm putting you on the spot, too. Right. The Cardinals. Arizona Cardinals. One word.
Go ahead, Josh. That's not my word.
I would have used the Casey word earlier today.
Fire?
Fire.
I'm going to say wow.
Wow.
Because
shocked.
Okay, there we go. I like it.
All right, there we go. Good. I know why. I mean, shocked. You were shocked they did that to Tennessee?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
If I was putting money on that game, it would have not been on Arizona, and especially the way it went down.
Yeah, I hear you.
And I'm just saying wow because even my expectations were high, but they exceeded my expectations already.
It's one of those things where that offense looks like it could be like that, and they did that, right?
Yeah, and also Chandler Jones had 5 sacks, which is ridiculous.
Helps with that, obviously, and your quarterback throwing, what do you have, 3 or 4 touchdowns? So
and ran for one.
Yeah, that helps.
Yeah, and it was a human highlight reel. Packers.
Relax.
Wow.
No. I'm gonna say
relax.
I'm gonna say relax.
Yeah. Hey, take it. By the way, you played golf with Aaron Rodgers, right?
Yeah. He's a friend of mine, and I actually watched a video earlier that he did, and he was basically saying the same thing. Just chill. We're gonna be fine. And he's a confident guy. So yeah. Just say chill.
I think those guys, too. By the way, I think the fans and everybody get that. Like I am. Yeah. I'm not worried about the Packers. No. When you've been around the block, like those guys haven't had the success like Rodgers has had, you're like, they'll figure it out.
Yeah.
But by the way, it doesn't do them any good to come out and win 38-3 in the opener. You want to be playing your best football down the stretch. Tampa's a great indication of that last year. Brady didn't panic, right? First half of the year, they didn't look good.
Now, I'm going to say this, though. I believe they have the Lions at home Sunday night or Monday night.
They do. I think it's a Monday nighter,
Monday night game. That's usually a game where if they come off a loss to play Detroit, they absolutely crush Detroit. Expect the same. If you don't see that and Detroit's in the game, then maybe panic a little bit. But right now I'm saying relax.
How about I'll go the flip side of that game was in Jacksonville. The Saints, and you can't say crab legs. That's 2 words.
W.
There you go. Very good. Very good. W for Winston. I like it. Houston.
Can I do hyphenated? One off.
Yeah.
One off.
Yeah, I'm going to say, we'll see. You know what I'm saying? I mean, I'm not sold.
I thought you were going to say sorry.
well, that too. Sorry, yeah, because, I mean, if anybody was very detrimental, very crucial to that fan base, it was me. So I apologize, Houston Texans.
I think a lot of people, a word that comes to mind could be fraud.
There we go.
All right.
I tell you what, the running game did look pretty good. I mean, Mark Ingram looked really good.
Yeah.
I mean, even though his numbers weren't crazy good, but they ran the ball really well.
They were effective. They didn't have negative runs. They weren't behind the schedule, in terms of the down and distance very often. And I said this to Austen yesterday. I looked down. I was in the press box, and all of a sudden it hit me in like the second quarter. They got Mark Ingram. They got Amendola. They got Tyrod Taylor's been around for a decade. They got guys that have been in this thing
David
for
Johnson,
a long time that know what to do, right? There's got to be something about that probably makes them a little bit better. Now, can they last the length of the season? They're going to be the least talented team every time they line up. But does some of their veteran savvy win them some more games than people think? I'm now convinced that they could, Yeah. But that might have been a typical NFL game as well.
That's week one. You never know with week one.
The Rams.
Super Bowl contender. Or contender. I'll just say contender. Contender.
Legit.
Very good.
I tell you what, I was not happy watching Jalen Ramsey make so many amazing plays.
Yeah.
And how much they showed him on TV over and over and over. I mean, mainly because of how he left here, but my gosh, is he a good player.
Well, and it's a testament, too, to that defense because they haven't talked about it during the game. Jalen Ramsey traditionally plays on the outside, takes the one receiver, shuts him down. But now they have him playing in the slot. They have him doing a lot more things, and in return, he's making a lot more plays. He was in like 10 plays, it seemed like.
It seemed like 3 or 4 in a row, just boom, 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 just making amazing plays. Not only, pass breakups, but tackles, too, aggressive tackles. I mean, there's a reason he's considered the player he is, even though he is the guy that he is.
Harder to watch, Stafford for Lions fans or Ramsey for Jags fans?
Probably Ramsey for Jags fans.
I'm going to go Ramsey, too, because I think Lions fans can appreciate Stafford after all he gave them and, how it ended. It was bound to happen eventually. With the way it went down in Jacksonville with Jalen Ramsey, he didn't end on good terms. Bad breakup.
Yeah, we don't really appreciate him here.
No, I think by the way, I've always said, I thought there was a chance Jalen Ramsey would be the best player to ever put on a uniform in Jacksonville.
I agree.
And they traded him away. You can't run from that. They traded away a guy that I think is the best player to maybe ever put on a uniform. Now, not because of what he did right then, but could have been. Okay? And you watch the reaction around the league when Ramsey makes a play, and everybody, cornerback one, right? Blah, 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 all this stuff. And I'll also say this. I think the Rams know exactly what they need to do with Ramsey. They know how to treat Ramsey. They're going to prop him up, and they're going to keep him happy, and they're going to do all that. They gave him a captaincy.
Yeah.
I mean, they do all the things that are going to keep Ramsey happy. That is something this organization in Jacksonville needs to figure out. How do you deal with a guy like that if he's that good of a player?
Yep.
They just said, screw it, we're trading him away. Well, and by the way, it's not all in the organization. He kind of said, screw it, I'm not playing my backwards.
Yeah, he had made his decision that he was done with the organization, and that's all there was to it.
Yeah, so it's but I agree with you, man. It's a tough watch, and it's tough, too, because he's so good. But how bad would it be with Ramsey around here the last couple of years? I mean, he wouldn't have survived.
Oh, no.
No.
I mean, that's the thing. Now, they might not have been as bad, but they weren't going to be good.
Well, and and it's the constant reminder as well because of what you got for Jalen Ramsey. And it's not fair for the draft picks to say this, but let's be honest. Calebon, Chason, and C.J. Henderson. And, Calebon, he had some missteps against Houston, and C.J. Henderson, we'll see what he's going to bring to the table. But those are the guys. Those are the guys you got for Jalen Ramsey. And every single time we turn a prime-time game, we see Jalen Ramsey. What have we seen so far from C.J. Henderson and Calebon Chason?
Yeah, they definitely haven't added up to what he's done so far, and that's where we're at.
You know what's interesting? I think of you a lot when we talk about, you already brought up Tyson Alualu.
Yeah.
And Alualu had to deal with that, right? He was the 10th overall pick, and people are like, why was he the 10th overall pick? And that was the Tim Tebow draft and all this stuff. And it's kind of just the opposite for these guys. It's not like everybody loves Jalen Ramsey, but you have to live up to that guy because you were the guy they picked to replace that guy.
Correct.
I think C.J. Henderson's in that. Obviously, Chason's in that, and more, depending on how you want to add up who picked where, right?
Well, you're hoping they don't think about that
I
as
doubt
players.
they do.
I highly doubt they do, but they're also watching him make those plays and wishing they were making those plays.
Yeah, no doubt.
Well, and then keep in mind, too, Brent, we got a bunch of 6th-round picks coming in next year that are going to have to make up for some stuff as well.
Maybe 4 6-rounders make up for Ramsey.
Yeah, there we go.
Yeah. We get 4 cornerbacks for 1.
Now we're talking. Now we're talking.
Maybe if they each have an interception, then bam, there you go.
There you go, man.
That's it. That's good thinking. Why did they think of that earlier?
Moneyball.
You can't replace them with one player.
That's
replace
the
them with
Moneyball
4.
effect.
That's what we call Moneyball.
We're live at Topgolf here in Jacksonville. Brent Martineau, Austen Lane. Josh Scobee joins us on until 6 o'clock. Let's get away from the football, have some other fun. These guys are dads. Got any dad jokes? Dad stories?
Ooh.
Maybe take it to the golf course? The MMA cage? We'll do all the rest when we come back on ESPN 690.
Now, the First Alert Forecast on ESPN 690. A widely scattered inland shower or storm early this evening. Otherwise, a fair to partly cloudy sky tonight, dropping to near 70 degrees. Partly sunny tomorrow. A few showers and thunderstorms developing, shifting more inland through the afternoon, with highs in the mid to upper 80s. From the First Alert Weather Center, I'm Action News Jax Chief Meteorologist Mike Burrish.
The Weather Center is brought to you by Beard's Diamonds. Now you can buy like a dealer buys. Save thousands on thousands of diamonds for a limited time at Beard's Diamonds.
Just be in control. With free interest checking and great digital tools, Community First makes smarter banking simple. Add an account at justbeyourself.com. Community First Credit Union. Just be yourself. Federally insured by NCUA.
It's a new approach to healthcare. The Center for Health and Sports Medicine is built on the pillars of health: physical, mental, spiritual, and emotional, with primary care sports medicine physicians, mental health counselors, an advanced diagnostics lab for wellness and sports medicine, and 24/7 on-site state-of-the-art fitness facility, all under one roof. What does this mean for you? As a Center for Health and Sports Medicine patient, you'll receive medical care in a collaborative, proactive, goal-oriented manner. In other words, everything they do is centered around you. Learn more at jacksfamilysportsmed.com.
Hey, it's Mark K from the Mark K Show for Galaxy Builders. And if you haven't had your roof inspected in the last year, you clearly have not been listening to what I've been telling you. Galaxy Builders, that should be your first phone call, because insurance companies are now doing drive-bys. And if they notice even one single shingle, which is tough to say, out of place on your roof, they have a reason to drop you from coverage. Galaxy Builders can inspect your roof and repair any leaks or damaged shingles to keep your insurance provider happy. Go to galaxyfla.com for a free quote. That's galaxyfla.com.
Massive increases in online ordering since the pandemic have sent demand for delivery truck drivers through the roof. And with that being said, the increased competition for those willing to be long-haul truckers has led to pay for drivers to be at an all-time high. Truck drivers are the glue that holds supply chains together, and no container, straight truck, or trailer moves without, at some point, a truck driver. So that means that right now there are high-paying job opportunities for people that are willing to get their Class A commercial driver's license, and J-Tech can help. J-Tech Institute's 4 or 8 week commercial truck driving and CDL program is helping students acquire the skills necessary to prepare for their CDL examination and to launch successful careers as commercial truck drivers. To learn more about J-Tech, visit jtech.org or call them at 904-483-9460. Ask for Hank to set up an appointment to tour the campus or get your questions answered. That's 904-483-9460 or visit jtech.org.
For the ones going above and beyond. For the ones reaching out, helping out, and lending a hand. For the ones people count on. You can count on Grainger. Grainger offers supplies and solutions for every industry. Backed by 24/7 customer support and specialists to help with hard-to-find products. Because you've got everyone's back. We've got yours. Call, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger. For the ones who get it done.
Here in the Sunshine State, more than 3 million men are over age 45, and over half suffer from ED or PE. Here's a message from Prime Men's Medical Center.
I'm Dr. Brown. If you're having problems in the bedroom and pills like Viagra have let you down, you'll see results at Prime Men's Medical Center, guaranteed, or your exam is free. And it's affordable.
Call 904-664-8217. Guaranteed results on your first visit or your exam is free. Call 904-664-8217.
ESPN 690 is home for the Florida Sportsman Fishing Show, hosted by Captain Rick Riles. Tune in every Saturday morning from 7 to 9 a.m. to find out what's biting now. Fishing so fresh, you can almost smell it.
Want to look like $1 million but only spend a handful of bucks? Upgrade to Dollar Shave Club with the Ultimate Shave Starter Set for only $5. Get a 6-blade razor, prep scrub, shave butter, and post-shave dew for a noticeably smooth shave. Plus free shipping. Razors can be expensive, so don't spend all that money for a mediocre shave. Dollar Shave Club. It's what dreams are shaved of. After the starter set, razors ship at a regular price. Go to dollarshaveclub.com/gojo. That's dollarshaveclub.com/gojo. Welcome to the club.
Goodyear believes in the power of moving forward. No matter if it's on the track, the court, or the field, movement makes us want to be more. It pushes us to go further, to show the world what we can do. Movement has the unique ability to change our perspective, to challenge us, to work for a better tomorrow. Movement can even bring us together when we're still. Because if we're focused on the next move, we don't have to worry about what's behind us. Goodyear, more driven.
P, J, and Max.
It's not just as easy as saying Mac Jones is way better than Cam Newton. I think Mac Jones has a chance to be better than Cam Newton. I still think Cam would have been the starter.
P.J. and Max. Weekday morning starting at 6 Eastern on ESPN Radio and on ESPN2.
I think he would be a great hire. I think Lane Kiffin would be a fantastic hire at Southern Cal. He is mature. He's more mature. He's ready. He could do that job like that. He just wasn't ready in 2010.
That's your buddy Paul Feinbaum jumping in there.
That's my man right there. Proud friend of I'm a proud friend of that show, Brent. I was on there once, not me personally, but they used a soundbite of mine, and Paul didn't disagree with me, so it was an honor to be on the Paul Feinbaum show.
There we go.
Great show. Well-oiled machine, the Paul Feinbaum show.
Yeah.
I don't know why you're such a hater.
You and Betsy,
Josh?
you and Betsy from Bama agree.
I'm like on the fence with Feinbaum.
Okay.
It's weird. I'm not a big SEC homer at all. No affiliation,
Sure.
but he's a little bit different. But that guy is weathered and been around the SEC block. That's for sure.
And see, to me, it's like Alan Jackson. Am I the biggest country music fan? Absolutely not. But I respect Alan Jackson, man, because the guy's a legend. I feel like Paul Feinbaum falls in that same category. Brent, you agree?
That's a good analogy.
Okay, man. Hater.
Oh, not a fan.
Hater.
I mean, I didn't say I'm not a fan of him. I mean, the guy's done hats off. He's done a fantastic job. I'm just
Brent's never been on his show
excitement
before.
level that Austen had for his show.
Yeah.
Because he played a soundbite on his show. It wasn't even on the show.
I would
Josh.
call it a career highlight.
I would call it a career highlight.
I would call it a career highlight. Shout out to Tim Tebow, because, it was the Tim Tebow effect getting me on the show. It was my thoughts about Tim Tebow. Yeah.
All right, Scobee, what show have you been on that you would put high on your resume?
What show? Like radio, TV show?
Yeah,
oh, wow.
like have you been on McAfee's show?
I have not been on there. People have recommended to him that I go on there before, but I've been on the Golf Channel show before, the Morning Drive.
You've been on Morning Drive?
Been on Morning
High
Drive.
on the resume
Yes,
list.
so that was pretty fun, but that was back when I was playing football, so
that was
back when people cared. Now they just like, what'd you shoot today? No one cares. No one cares. Back then, if I shot 75 as an active NFL player, they cared. Now, if I shoot 65 as a retired player, they don't care.
Yeah, you can win some golf tournament in San Diego, and they don't even care.
They don't care.
Nobody even says it.
Yeah.
Brent, what about you? Besides ESPN 690?
Well, I mean, I do the mock draft picks on the morning show.
Okay.
I was on Go Lick and Wingo.
Is that what we're going with?
Oh, I mean, that's
pretty good.
That's not bad.
You also took
not the new rendition.
Well, you took Javon Diggs in the first round, though. If you don't remember that.
I mean, Diggs is going to be the defensive player of the year this year.
We'll see how that works out.
But I will tell you one quick story. All right. We had this guy, and I still have not forgotten his name. When I was at Ashland in college, I was called to football games, and we had this was like national news story. This guy had come back. Edgar Barreto was his name. He was now like 58 years old or something, and he came back and played on the football team because he had a year of eligibility left.
Like the intramural team or like the actual
he
team?
played on the team. Like he went through the whole stuff, right? And he was almost like Rudy-esque.
Sure.
But he was like this marathon, triathlon guy, all this stuff.
Yeah,
and
maybe a little bit of a publicity
This sounds
stunt.
like necessary roughness.
It's very true. And so, I'm like, I'm just calling a game one day. Well, he gets in the game at the end of a game, toward the end of the year. And we go nuts in the booth. And so I don't know what it was at the time. I think it was the Best Damn Sports Show that Fox did.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
And so they actually had our call. It's like Brent and his little girl voice. Right? and my co-host Ken Dworsnik, who was, we didn't have real color guys that had played football.
Yeah.
And it's like this little nat pop of our call.
Yeah.
And Edgar Barreto, 58 years old, got into a NCAA game.
Yeah. That's legit, though.
So, Best Damn Sports Show.
What was
guys
your
just
call? Do you
rekindled
remember
that.
the actual
my
call?
God. It's like, here it comes! He's in the game! He's in the game! It's like we were waiting for the moment.
Yeah.
It was awful. The call was terrible.
What position did he play?
I think it was a linebacker.
Wow. Did he
Or
die
maybe-
directly afterwards? Heart attack?
Look him up.
Hurt his hip?
I can't believe
Definitely
I'm
hip
so
injury.
bad at this. Remembering names, and I remember his name. His name is Edgar Barreto.
Edgar
Nice.
Barreto.
Yeah.
Okay.
And he played. And that was, I think now you couldn't do that. Like, I can't go back and play. I have a year of eligibility left if I want it.
Okay.
I redshirted my freshman year, and then I just played, sophomore, junior, senior, what I called it. But I still had an extra year.
Yeah.
Well, you can't go back and play anymore because you have to do 4 years and 5. Well, now that's a little different right now because of COVID, right? But you have to play your 4 years and 5 years. You can't, go back.
Yeah.
Like, the J.R. Smith thing is interesting.
Oh, with the golf.
Because he's playing a different sport, I think.
Yeah.
But
because he went straight from high school to the NBA.
To the pros, and that's why. So he never even used it.
Do we know how is he doing, by the way?
That's a good call.
They haven't started the season yet.
Okay, so
but
we have
once,
no way of telling.
Once they do, we will know.
Believe me. Does he have his shirt on?
But also, there's going to be 5 starting players that they actually use during the tournament, so he might not even be one of those 5 starting players.
So, Josh, in your opinion, then, all right, obviously it's a good form of publicity. We're all talking about it. I mean, but from the other players' perspective, are you kind of turned off to the idea of J.R. Smith coming on your golf team, or do you embrace it?
I embrace it because mainly I love golf, and I've been around him in a celebrity golf tournament, and he is entertaining. Yeah. And I mean, we've obviously all watched him on TV in the NBA and seen the good and bad that he brings, but I'm going to be a fan of it. And so I'm hoping that he actually gets to play in tournaments and he records some scores and we see it on TV.
That's cool. That'd be pretty cool.
It'll be tough for those matches to be on TV or tournaments that he plays in to be on TV. But, I mean, I'm kind of rooting for him.
Well, and I'll be honest, it's a good exposure for golf, for college golf, right?
And if that's the case, that'll be the first time I watch college golf.
Exactly.
I'm definitely going to tune in and watch it if it's televised.
And listen, there's one time the national championships, if you're a golf fan, are kind of cool. Like, it's fun, match play and stuff. But even golf people don't watch college golf. That's my point, right? So everybody would watch. If you could go back, if you could play for a college golf team right now, who would you be good enough to play? Now, UNF's pretty good, right?
I don't even think I would make that starting 5 squad.
You wouldn't?
They all play golf at Deerwood, where I play.
Yeah.
And I play with quite a few of those guys, and they're
You're a
studs.
plus handicap guy, right?
Yeah, I'm a +3.
That's what people don't understand. You still got to go shoot 64 sometimes.
Correct. I mean, they have a couple guys on their team right now. One of them almost won the U.S. Amateur a few weeks ago, and he's one of the top players in the country right now, and he was a freshman this past year. Talking about like a 19-year-old kid that if he and I went and played golf right now, he would just kick my butt all up and down the course.
Interesting.
And so I'm saying, if I went over across the street to UNF right now and said, hey, I have 1 year of eligibility, let's get me on the team, I would not be on their starting 5. Yeah, that's how good they are.
Yeah, they might take you on the team, but you might not be playing. Any wrestling company?
Speaking of teams, when we talk about the Dark Order right now in AEW, they are lacking a leader. Hangman Page said that he's out. He's having a baby. He's taking some time off. The Dark Order has 0 leader right now, Brent. And it really begs the question, does Bray Wyatt come back from WWE and go to AEW and become the leader, the exalted one, if you will, of the Dark Order?
I love that you
Tune
know.
in.
It's a lot of acronyms.
Guys on paternity leave, huh?
Yeah, he is, yeah.
Speaking of, you guys are dads.
Yeah, that ended pretty quick. I'm glad because I had no idea what you just said.
No,
you're not a wrestling
guy.
No.
That surprises me a little bit.
I'm trying to get into it, but I don't know all the history of it, so I can't pretend like I do.
Yeah. How's dad life?
It's great. Other than trying to deal with school and COVID and all this
you don't
crap.
have another job yet. I mean,
I know that's
too much time with him.
I'm at home too much. That's the problem.
Come on now, listen. Let's be honest. There's a
good
thing
like
about working hard.
Yeah. Oh yeah, without a doubt. So driving 3 jobs like I do, man. It's all good.
Dad life's good. Ronan good, right?
Oh, he's doing fantastic. Now I told the story already. He snitched on me because I might have said a few curse words.
Yes, you did.
During the Jaguars game, and then he snitched on me.
Okay,
that happens.
That'll grow the bond eventually.
Well, yeah, or else just play better, so I don't have to swear anymore in front of the TV, and that's gonna be fine.
It's like your second time, by the way. Bortles did it. Any Scobee swears?
Well, no, 0 Scobee swears for me personally.
Okay,
no, we're good. You're always pretty dependable.
About 80% of the time.
I mean, I think literally the only time I might have swore about you was when you turned the TV when we were watching on the couches.
Yeah.
And maybe watched a movie I didn't want to watch because Scobee was in charge of the TV.
Yeah.
During training camp, we had our own little
Veteran
couch.
rules.
Yeah. Sadly, I'm not even control it at my own house, so I needed it at some point.
So we got it in at training camp.
Yeah. All right, you guys, I thought would be good for this. All right, since we're in dad mode, we're getting all older a little bit. So the next stage for Ty and Kaylee, or Kaylee, because she, from a recruitment standpoint, have to start a Twitter handle.
Yes. They have to.
Well, they wanted
just in order to
NIL.
Like
Yeah.
yes. Well, that's actually there's some truth there, right? We're gonna get like TikTok viewers up or
Yeah.
get NIL ready
That's
to go,
sad.
right?
That's sad.
But whatever it works, whatever it takes. So Kaylee started one. Now she didn't have one until now. They're not on Snapchat or any of the other stuff.
Good
like
for
we
you.
just were like, they just don't see the need for it. Now they might be secretly.
Yeah.
They probably are actually secretly. Steph, check that phone tonight. There's got to be some rules about Twitter, though, right?
Oh, absolutely.
I mean, she's 16.
Yeah.
Like Ty doesn't even care, right? He's not even on that stuff. He can see it. Like he sees what I tweet, so I got to be careful.
Yeah,
now,
you
right?
got to set the ground rules for sure.
But we need ground rules for daughter tweeting.
I mean, I feel like you come to the right spot because Scobee for a while was known as one of the best tweeters in the NFL.
He
if
was.
I'm
Yeah.
not mistaken.
Yeah,
So
I'm
go
not
ahead, Josh.
anymore, but yes. But yeah, now it's kind of funny. Like, all of our friends' kids are getting older, especially the girls. They're getting into their teens, and we talk about that with the dads. And we actually had a babysitter a few weeks ago. A new babysitter came over to the house. She's 16, and she was telling us that she had a a TikTok account that her parents didn't know about, and she had 2 videos on there that were viewed like a couple million times, and she has over 100,000 followers on TikTok, and her parents
didn't
have
even know.
no idea that she has an account. And
insane.
my wife's like, listen, that can't happen to us. I'm like, yeah, I agree. Her parents have, like, I don't understand how they don't know.
So let me go ahead and give Kaylee some advice that my PR person gave me after I put out a tweet that I probably shouldn't have put out. My PR person told me is when you tweet, imagine that your grandmother is reading it. And what would
very
she
good.
think about it? Now, the problem with that statement is you don't know how my grandma gets down. Because my grandma's got a different sense of humor than a lot of other
Good
grandmas
point.
do.
But typical grandma.
But typical
Stereotypical grandma.
What if your grandma can't read, though?
Oh, well, my grandma's not on Twitter, so it doesn't even matter. But if she can't read, then, yeah, it's a bonus. But I would tell Kaylee, imagine that your grandma's on Twitter and she sees what you tweet and go from there.
That's very good.
Yeah.
That's it. Simple as that.
Simple as
One
that.
rule.
That's
Hey,
all. That's all it is.
here's my rule so far. Kaylee, don't tweet. Just observe.
Yeah. Just
Yeah.
observe, be transparent. Just say, listen, if you tweet something, I'm going to find out about it. So
that is
just be
true.
honest with me.
Yeah.
See, that's the
Just
thing. I
be
don't know if
honest.
the kids know all that. Like, I guess you can delete a tweet, but then what's the point of having it out there?
Exactly.
Unless you were already.
It's never
unless it
truly
was too
deleted.
late.
Yeah. Never truly deleted.
So-
I found that out the hard way, too.
See, that's the problem with the kids. That's the biggest fear, right, with kids, that they say something that 8 years from now somebody's going to go back and look at. Because
course.
how many times does that happen? Everybody's keeping receipts on all these
It happens
folks, right?
with all these, first-round draft picks.
Yeah.
They go back and find something that might be offending to someone. And
I wonder if we're getting to a point, because I see a lot of kids on Twitter, we cover the high school stuff, that they're smart enough to know that now for the most part.
I would say for the most part.
They're definitely smart enough, but emotion comes into play.
Yeah.
Kids, whether you're in high school or you're going to college, they can be emotional individuals. And sometimes they get caught in their feelings and they tweet stuff they shouldn't tweet. So I agree with you, Brent, but at the same time, you got to remind them, like, hey, just because you're feeling bad right now doesn't mean you got to tweet about it.
Yeah.
It'll be better.
So here you go, Kaylee. There you go. Josh and Austen said it.
Yeah.
And they're bigger than me. Well, I mean, Josh just a little bigger than me, but Austin's really big.
Yeah, and I had Joe Cullen yell at me about 5 times for my tweets I used to put out. So, I mean, don't listen to me at all.
By the way, so someday your college coach is going to yell at you for tweets that you put out.
There you go.
Yeah.
So be careful.
Yep. I had coaches yell at me for tweeting things.
You did?
I'm like,
isn't it wild?
Like, just worry about your own stuff.
So did they really?
So,
Oh,
Josh,
because he told the story.
Yeah.
Cullen did.
So let me ask you this: do you think nowadays in the league you can tweet pretty much whatever you want with no, I mean, to an extent, obviously,
To an
but
extent.
coaches aren't going to care about it.
Absolutely. It's completely changed in the past year and a half to 2 years. You can tweet whatever you want as long as it's not offending too many people.
Yeah.
Well, that's true. They didn't know. In fairness, they didn't know what the hell Twitter was.
Oh,
yeah,
for
when
sure.
you guys are tweeting that stuff.
I don't
They
think
had
Joe
no
Cullen still knows what Twitter is, to be fair.
Well,
with
and
you.
a lot of those guys who live in the bubble probably don't.
They don't, yeah.
But now they know that they can't kind of question what your brand.
Yeah.
Right? The brand, we say this all the time, Josh. The athlete has changed so much in the last 5 years because the brand, maybe it's 7 years, but it wasn't that long ago that you guys played, and it's a totally different animal. Because it really is all about the player more than the team and sometimes
unfortunately
everything
it is.
else.
And that's what people have, the old school minds have a hard time understanding. And even I do, is that it's such an individual sport now and not so much about team, that people are doing things individually every single second of the day, whether it's social media, game day or whatever for themselves and not so much for the team. And that's just the way it's probably going to continue for a long time.
These guys are in their 30s. We should start a Get Off My Golf Course segment.
I'm telling you,
geez,
it's weird.
It's amazing how old you guys get so quickly. Oh, man.
Some call it old, some call it being very mature, Brent.
You remember this segment for one thing, Kaylee Brooke. You remember your grandma's watching you tweet.
Grandma's watching you tweet.
Nana's watching.
There it is.
Both of them. By the way, your one Nana's birthday. My mom's birthday today. Happy birthday, Mom.
Nice.
Oh,
What I mean,
yeah.
it's meant to be.
Yeah, she ain't on Twitter. Trust me. She's got a flip phone.
Yeah.
If she even has that. We'll be back. Action Sports Jax on ESPN 690.
Keep climbing.
It's intercepted. Picked off of the 12. He will go down. He finds the promised land. Touchdown, FSU.
This is your home for FSU football.
Outside the numbers to the 10. 5, 3, 2, 1. It's a touchdown, Florida State. Intercepted. Picked off of the 33-yard line.
Noles win. Noles win. Catch live coverage of the Seminoles all season long, right here on your home for Florida State football.
Sponsored by Bono's Pit Barbecue. If you don't see a pit, it ain't legit. The Center for Health and Sports Medicine delivers an individualized 360-degree approach to your health, providing a whole-person approach to primary care and sports medicine. With primary care and sports medicine physicians, mental health counselors, the sports performance lab, and 24/7 on-site state-of-the-art wellness center, all under one roof, they'll work to maximize your health by creating a foundational focus on physical, mental, spiritual, and emotional well-being. The MD VIP program provides even more benefits, like appointment guarantees and after-hour care. Learn more at jacksfamilysportsmed.com.
For the ones who are always in the know.
Delivery confirmed.
For the ones who keep things running. For the innovators and the problem solvers. Grainger offers supplies and solutions for every industry, experienced staff at local branches, and free access to experts to help answer your toughest questions. So whatever challenge you face, we have the knowledge and products to help. Call, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
It's tough out on these streets, especially if you're buying a car. Prices are crazy! And a car loses 20% of its value when you drive it off the lot. Get in a wreck and you're screwed. But not when you get your auto loan from One to One Financial, Jacksonville's hometown credit union. All month you get no-cost gap protection with a new or used vehicle loan. It'll save your butt in case of a wreck in the first year. Even better, our loan rates are crazy low. So get peace of mind with your Porsche. Get pre-approved at 1to1fcu.org. Federally insured by NCUA.
I love football and I love chicken wings. Hey, everybody, this is Brent Martineau. We are a lot alike, right? You love football and you love wings. Let's win the week with Extreme Wings Sports Grill. 4 locations in Jacksonville, Atlantic Boulevard, Ocean Way, 210 in St. Johns County, and the new location on Roosevelt Boulevard near NAS Jax, serving up the freshest, never frozen, world-famous extreme hot wings to Jacksonville since 1999. We like football. We like wings. We love a good deal. To celebrate the grand opening of the Extreme Wings Roosevelt location, get 6 wings, french fries, and a drink for just $12.99 at the Roosevelt location. 6 wings, french fries, and a drink, just $12.99. Active military gets special discounts. Jalapeno ranch, Caribbean jerk, spicy blue cheese, lemon pepper. So many flavors to choose from. And, of course, they can make them extreme if you want. Plenty of space at Extreme Wing Sports Grill locations. If you're looking for a place for the entire team, try Extreme Wing Sports Grill. I love it. You'll love it. 4 locations in Jacksonville, including Roosevelt Boulevard near NAS Jax.
Hey, boss. Just got done with Case and Neighborhoods. Hey, have you noticed more Safe Touch security signs in yards lately?
No, I bet it's because of back to school.
Back to school?
Yeah. See, back in the old days, parents who worked in the afternoon had no idea when Junior got home from school, right?
Yeah. Oh, but now with Safe Touch, the app lets him know exactly when he walks in the door.
Right. Parents love it. And Safe Touch video monitoring can show him exactly who the precious angel is walking in with.
Oh, I get it. Safe Touch is like an extra pair of eyes for mom and dad.
Right. So the kids are never home alone.
And parents are never away from home.
Precisely. It's also one more reason why we crooks got our golden rule. Stay away from Safe Touch houses. Simple as 2 + 2.
crooks know to stay away from Safe Touch houses. Hi, I'm Lester Jackson, president of Safe Touch Security Systems. No one beats our technology or our price.
Call Safe Touch today at 888-723-8682 or go to safetouch.com. State license number EF233.
Temperatures keep climbing and hotter weather means your body needs more water. Stay hydrated. CGC Water Treatment wants to make sure the water you and your family drink is cleaner, healthier, and tastes great. It starts with the Connecticut system, proudly made in America and installed by the pros CGC Water. Not sure about your water? Call CGC. They'll analyze your water for free. I haven't had to worry about my water since I got mine installed because Connecticut systems remove up to 99% of the contaminants. If you're not filtering your water, you are the filter. Connecticut makes the world's most efficient softeners, non-electric, twin tanks that use less salt and water during regeneration. Save up to $500 on select softener and RO systems this month. Financing available with approved credit. Call CGC Water at 904-552-1242. Call and ask about Conway Club, the new service program that will save you money on salt, filters, delivery, parts, and labor. Tell them Brent sent you and find out all the details and all the great ways you can save. Call 904-552-1242 or visit cgcwater.com, your local independent Connecticut dealer. Hey, it's Brent Martineau from Action Sports Jax. Did you know you can watch our radio show? Yeah, video of a radio show. Just search ESPN 690 Jax on Facebook, YouTube, and Twitter. Or follow me on Twitter at Brent A.S. Jax. Watch the show live weekdays from 3 p.m. until 6 p.m. or listen on ESPN 690.
Jalen Hurts doesn't get the necessary respect around the National Football League from the pundits, not the players on the field, but people that, in my eyes, that don't watch enough football to know that this guy can really play. It was a decision made by Nick Saban that have put this narrative out on him. When Nick Saban went to Tua and he transferred to Oklahoma 2 years later and lit it up, people automatically assumed that Jalen Hurts couldn't play the position.
I'm still not sure Jalen Hurts is going to be very good, but he got off to a good start. Mm-hmm. It's a good thing for you.
Casey, thanks for that soundbite, man. I appreciate it.
Yeah.
What a way to end the show.
What a way to end the show.
Yeah.
Not over just yet. Tuesdays from Topgolf continue right here at Topgolf, and Jax will be here every Tuesday, 3 to 6, and then Josh joins us from 5 to 6. Josh Scobee, along with Brent Martineau, Austen Lane, Casey back in the studios. Good night to be out here at Topgolf. And come out each and every Tuesday. We talk some football. We talk some other. These guys like to cook and stuff. You like chopped up. What is it?
Chopped.
The show.
Chopped. Yeah, chopped. Yeah.
You a cooking guy?
I love to cook. Yeah.
What is up with that? Like, how do you guys? You got a kicker at the defensive end, and you guys like to cook.
We like to eat.
Okay, I like to eat too. I don't like to cook it.
So here's the
thing. You don't like to cook it. Well, I guess you're working a lot, so you don't have the free time to cook.
Yeah, this is not like going to be like this sexist kind of comment.
Yeah.
My wife doesn't cook much either.
Yeah.
Like we just go out to eat. Like we're on the run and always so we like go out to eat a lot. Now the air fryer has come in.
Oh, here we go.
Handy.
Brent's a big air fryer endorser.
I will. Josh, try it.
You have one, Josh?
I was gifted one. I returned it.
Really?
I'm like,
I'm
are you not dealing that?
Josh. Josh, you're missing
out.
It's
hot air.
I've heard that. I'm like
I mean,
I'm
not the guy that should be giving everybody
mentality.
advice, but just take this advice.
Okay.
Go get that air fryer back. It's only like $99. You got it.
Coming from the guy who doesn't cook, take his advice about the air fryer.
I don't really cook, but you should do this.
Yes, you should.
Yeah.
And by the way, put that steak in there for 12 minutes.
Cook
the steak.
That's
and
what I'm drawing. Brent,
awesome.
I'm drawing the line.
Steak in the air fryer.
I'm drawing the line.
I'm going to go order a steak from Arby's on the way out and see how that is. So.
I'm telling you, try it.
No, I'm good.
Try it.
I'm all set.
I'm all set as well.
You'll see life in the fast lane's coming at you as the kids get older.
Now
you'll have that air fryer soon enough.
I had one. Like I said, I returned it.
So did you
are you
use
a
it?
griller?
No.
You like to grill?
I'm more so cast iron skillet on the stove.
Okay,
so if I'm cooking a
sear
steak,
guy.
no, I literally sear it, cook it the way it should be cooked.
Okay.
On the
I've done
stove
that too.
with a steak. But I
not
cook,
on the grill. Stove?
Oh, I'll do cast
grill?
iron on the grill.
So if we're talking steaks, I do the reverse sear in the cast iron.
Oh.
But if we're talking obviously if you do ribs or something like this, other kind of meats like salmon, I'll put that on the grill.
Yeah. I like to grill.
Yeah.
But
it's a lot of trial and error. Like you could screw it up in a hurry.
Yeah.
And I've definitely screwed up some things in the past.
Time is of the essence, though. Like I couldn't sit there and grill ribs.
No.
Like it takes way too long.
Oh, see, I've done that before.
Have you?
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah, I couldn't do that.
You
6
can.
hours.
Yeah, I mean it's time consuming and
like it can't be that good.
So
it's
fantastic. I can't wait for that one.
I promise you it's that good. But what I was going to say to you, Brent, is okay. So you keep saying we're getting older. Now I don't like that narrative, but whatever.
Kind of are.
Have you found yourself have you taken any? So you're air fryer. You're a big air fryer guy.
I am.
And you're a big steak air fryer guy. Whatever. Do you take pictures after the steak is in the air fryer? Like, hey, check out what I did, because that's like the ultimate dad old guy move.
We've had this conversation before. I don't get the whole picture of the food thing.
Josh.
Neither do I.
You know, now, if you're on some crazy island and somebody cooked it for you and you got this once-in-a-lifetime meal, that's okay. But taking pictures of my food and tweeting it out or sharing it, that's not my thing.
No, see,
I'm not saying I've never done it, okay? It's not my thing.
I would rather.
I gotta be careful in case I have done it. I don't remember.
Sure, I was going to say, because receipts are out there.
Yes,
I was going to say, if you have made a meal, I mean, I would rather have you take a picture of the meal that you made as opposed to some restaurant. Because you didn't do anything at the restaurant.
That's fair.
You know what I'm saying? It's like your kids. I'll take pictures of my son, Ronan, because I created him. I'm not going to take pictures of random kids that I see, Brent. Same thing with food.
So Ronan and an air-fried steak, take pictures of.
For sure.
That's what we got. Did you see Adam Schefter came out with, like, an announcement on Thursday night halftime is going to be made about the future of Hard Knocks? Like, did that need a 2-day window to give us a heads up?
I have the tweet right here. An announcement will be made during halftime of Thursday night's Giants-Washington football team game that will involve the future of Hard Knocks series, per a league official.
It's done. The Cowboys killed Hard Knocks.
It's such a random time to say that we're going to announce it. But, I mean, that's, the one big time that they can do it for Thursday night. But I don't know. Adam Schefter kind of blows my mind with some of his tweets and the
let's
groundbreaking
tweets. Like, I think they killed it.
Well, what else would it
done.
be?
Well, it's got to be
two
something.
teams.
Why would they promote that? Like,
well,
why?
It's got to be something.
Somebody
more
at the
than
NFL gave
it.
Somebody at the NFL gave it to Schefter.
Yeah.
Right? To say, hey, tease this.
Yeah.
I'm not going to tease that it got killed. Like, that's not good TV.
And they're probably going to announce that there's two teams and that they'll be playing each other or practicing together in the preseason. Then they'll be able to double dip on it. I mean,
I wonder if they changed the rules,
like
because isn't there a rule now, like with whatever the rules, like the last 8 teams
Yeah.
are in the mix? I wonder if they changed that.
Maybe. I think Hard Knocks is going to Netflix.
Oh,
I think
you just nailed
Netflix
it.
is going to get in the sports game, and the first start is going to be with Hard Knocks.
You just nailed it. Well,
I hope so.
No, actually, they just signed this huge deal with Verizon.
Okay, well then something with that.
That's what's going on. Man,
now,
you nailed it.
Now I'm going to say this, though. Thank you. I'm going to say this, though.
That's what it is.
If they do cancel it, I'm going to be all the way ticked off. Not because I love the show, I do love the show. But, like, who do you think you are, Hard Knocks? You have to have, like, this press conference and say, we're not, you aren't Game of Thrones.
No, they're not going to cancel it.
You aren't Breaking Bad.
The
Okay,
show
so
sucked
relax.
this year. Austin's the only one that liked the show this year.
I love Hard Knocks.
The show was terrible.
I think I watched an episode and a half maybe of it. And, I mean, it's okay.
So I just say it like this, Josh. I say that there's no more show. There's not a show out there that's more an accurate representation of what goes on in the locker room and in terms of practice than Hard Knocks. I mean, like, if you want the behind-the-scenes look, well, then watch Brent stuff that he produces, too, but also watch Hard Knocks.
Yeah. By the way, like, a 5-year-old kid stole the show on Hard Knocks.
He did, though.
That's how good the show was. A 5-year-old kid.
That and Jerry Jones putting salt on his McMuffin.
Hey,
riveting.
Not a ton of football talk here, which is good. We don't want this all about football, especially if the Jags are 0-1 losing.
Maybe if they win next week,
maybe we'll talk a little more football.
Mm-hmm.
God bless us the next couple of weeks. Doesn't look good on paper. Are you concerned at all about Josh Lambo, like the fan base is?
I don't think so. I mean, obviously, misses one field goal, but to have to start the season with your first attempt being from 55 yards, even if it is indoors, I mean, that's a pretty tough task for your very first kick. I mean, as a kicker, you'd like an easier one to get started for the season, but unfortunately, he missed it. But I think
he actually hit it pretty well.
He did, just missed it a little bit. But folks were panicking in the preseason about it, and it'll work itself out.
He kind of said relax, in the preseason.
Josh, so when they brought in Aldrich Rosas for training camp, there's kind of rumors saying there's going to be a true competition at the kicking position. Like, if you're in Josh Lambo's shoes, do you feel disrespected a little bit from what you've done in terms of your resume here in Jacksonville?
I probably wouldn't feel disrespected if I were him, because the fact that he only played, 4 or 5 games last year because of an injury, I would feel like it was more because of that than his production on the field, because he's been nothing short of amazing since he's been here. So I wouldn't feel disrespected, but who knows how some athletes feel. I mean, I felt disrespected at random times if a kicker was brought in, but I also knew that that was just going to drive me and make me work harder. But he'll be fine, honestly. Like, he's an extremely good kicker, very accurate. And, I mean, you saw even the kicks after that. I mean, they're right down the middle.
Yeah.
I mean,
I'm not judging him on the 55. I'm judging on the whole month. Really.
No, I'm not going to worry about that. He'll get in his stride and he'll be fine.
All right, now Josh, now be honest. If you ever got cut from a team and then that roster spot was used on a punter, would you feel disrespected? Because that happened to me when I got cut from Jacksonville, and I felt a little disrespect. Just a little disrespected.
As you should have.
Yeah.
Hey, go get a killer workout in now because of that. Just think of the punter.
You got it.
Just think about him.
Don't worry, Dad Cole. I still love you, dude.
You're on your way to go get an air fryer, I know, right after this. Nice
Costco, I'll be there in a minute.
Best to the family. We'll see you back here next Tuesday.
All right, guys.
Tuesdays at Topgolf. Josh Scobee, Austen Lane, Brent Martineau. Thanks to Casey. And the Jumbo Shrimper on ESPN 690 in just a bit. I'll see you on TV tonight, CBS 47 and Fox 30.
Attorney Joe Cordell.
New school, new job, new